Imagine your friend asking you this. Hey, are you coming to my birthday party this Saturday? For most people, it's a simple yes or no. Maybe sorry, I've got plans. But for me, it turned into a full-blown mental spiral. Okay, if I say no, will she think I don't care? Should I explain what I actually have planned? Or is that too much detail? Wait, what if she thinks I'm lying? Maybe I should just go for a bit. But then I'll be late to the other thing. I'll be anxious the whole time. You know what? I'll just answer it later. And 15 minutes later, still staring at the screen, the message still unsent. And that is what overthinking looks like. It sneaks into the tiniest moment and stretches them out into a full dramas in your head. And the worst part, you know you're doing it, but you still can't stop. I am Zafira Saisha Farraz, and today I'm going to talk about overthinking. What it looks like in my life, not just with texts like this, but with way bigger stuff too. And maybe, if any of this sounds familiar, we'll figure out how to untangle it together. So a couple of months ago, I ran for a student council president election at my school. Now, I passed a series of tests, got through interviews, the campaigns, the posters, all of it. But there was this one thing that completely freaked me out. The debate. Yes, the debate. My head was full of what ifs at that time. What if I blank out? What if I say something dumb? What if people laugh at me? What if I freeze up and everyone remembers it forever? And I know people would say, just be confident, speak from the heart. But when you're an overthinker, even that turns into pressure. I remember sitting backstage before the debate, gripping my note card so tight, my fingers were shaking. Everyone around me looked chill, like they were built for this. Meanwhile, I was having a full conversation in my head about a conversation I hadn't even had yet. And honestly, it wasn't even the debate that was the hardest part. It was everything in my head leading up to it. But it doesn't stop at big things like election. Like, anyone ever replaying a conversation in mind, wondering if you said the wrong thing? Like, I should have said this before. I shouldn't have said that earlier. It's wild. It tricks you into believing that you're solving a problem when really, you're just stressing yourself out. And that's the thing. Overthinking doesn't always show up in dramatic ways. Sometimes it sneaks into these tiny everyday moments, moments that don't look like a big deal to anyone else, but they feel huge in your brain. Overthinking can feel like being trapped in an endless loop of what ifs and should have. And it's exhausting. It's like your brain thinks, if I imagine every possible outcome, I'll be safe. But what really happens, you just create more anxiety. Your brain doesn't care about peace. It cares about survival. And in today's world, that means trying to avoid things like being embarrassed, getting judged, hurting someone's feelings, making a mistake, or just not being perfect. So yeah, your brain is just trying to protect you. But instead of protecting your peace, it steals it. You don't feel prepared. You just feel stuck. So here, I brought a couple things with me to show what overthinking feels like in my brain. Now this is one thought. Just one. It starts simple, right? But the second you start pulling and sucking and trying to figure it all out, you end up with this giant mess. You think if you put it the right way, it'll make sense. But overthinking doesn't solve the problem. Most of the time, it just turns everything into knots. And this is what overthinking steals. Time. I've lost whole afternoons to an imaginary conversation, opportunities I didn't say because I was too busy second-guessing myself, moments I missed because I was stuck in my own head. And the sad, it doesn't stop. Life keeps going, whether you decide or not. Overthinking doesn't pause time, it just pauses you. This role reminds me that thinking harder doesn't always fix things. And this hourglass reminds me that I don't have forever to sit around trying to feel perfectly ready. So yeah, overthinking is real and it's hard. But the question is, what do we do about it? Well, I'm not a psychologist or some mindfulness teacher or whatever. I'm just a teenager who thinks way too much. But here are a few things that actually help me. Label it. Like literally to say, oh, I'm overthinking right now. It sounds simple, but it gives you distance. You stop becoming the thought and start noticing it. Ask yourself, is this a fact or just a fear? Because most of the time, overthinking is about something that hasn't even happened yet. Write it down. When I'm spiraling, journaling honestly helps. It's like cleaning up a messy room in grade, and once it's on the paper, it's less scary. Make a decision. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do you can say to yourself is, okay, I've thought enough. Now I move. Even if you're still scared, even if your brain's still yelling. And here's what I've learned. You can't overthink your way into peace. But you can take the small step toward it. You can't catch the spiral. Breathe. Let go of needing to feel 100% sure. Because I don't want to miss my life by trying to predict it. I want to live it. Even if that means sometimes getting it wrong. Even if I say the awkward thing. Even if not everyone understands me. You know, overthinking makes us feel like if we're not perfect, we'll be rejected. But what I've realized is overthinking doesn't solve the problem. And most people, they're too busy overthinking their own stuff to judge yours. So to anyone who's ever felt stuck in their head, you're not alone. You're not broken. And peace isn't about having all the answers. It's about learning to live even with the questions. Thank you very much.